Good morning, everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Bruchim Habayim. We're continuing in Mishnah Berura, Daf Hashavua. We're learning Siman Pei. We're starting Siman Pei. We started it, but we had to go back yesterday. Now, when we started, Mendy pointed out something that's worthwhile to emphasize, and that is there are two dinim when it comes to being mefiach, when it comes to what we call passing gas. There's a din of siman ayin tes that if somebody passes gas, it's asur b'divrei Torah while it smells. So if the person themselves was the one who did it, one is not allowed to learn. But if it came from his friend, you're allowed to learn, but you can't daven, because during learning it's basically impossible in a big setting that it's not going to happen. And that's the din of reach ra. Siman pei is a separate din altogether. It's not a din in reach ra. It's a din of guf naki. Siman pei, I'll sort of translate the mechaber. We read it already. The mechaber says someone who is confident that he cannot control himself from passing gas until the end of Shema and Shemana Esrei, it's better to miss Zman Kriya Shema and Tefillah and not daven than to daven and not have a guf naki. So here it's not a matter of the smell, it's a matter of the guf naki. If the Zman Tefillah passes, you're an einus and you're going to daven mincha twice. You're going to daven mincha twice. By the way, there's a very interesting question. Let's say somebody misses mincha. So what do? They daven Mariv twice. Which tefillah should they daven first? So they daven Mariv, and then they go back and they daven Mincha. Why? Mariv is a reshus. Tashlumin is a chiyuv. L'chayra, you should daven Mincha first, and then Mariv. This is a big question. This is based on the shir we had from the Shagas Aryeh, whether chiyuv comes before reshus. It could be, the reason you daven Mariv is because when something is a reshus, you're allowed to do it before something that's a chiyuv. Sort of might be a raya to the Shagas Aryeh. Okay, but in any event, you have a din of tashlumin, you're allowed to make it up, and you daven mincha twice. Now, if you could control yourself, at least not to pass gas during Kriya Shema, then put on tefillin between Avarab and Kriya Shema, and then you make a bracha on it. The Mishnah Berura said in Sivkata and Aleph, I'm just translating because we did this already, that this is all if you're sure that you can control yourself. But if you're not sure, then it is not proper not to daven. In other words, if you're not sure, then daven. You might not have a guf naki. It's only an issue when you definitively will not have a guf naki. Okay, let's see. We're up to Sivkata and Gimel. Zman Kriya Shema. The Achroinim, you know who the Achroinim are? The El Yarabba, the Avodas Hayoim, the Ber Hagra, the Magin Giborim. They say you're going to miss Zman Kriya Shema D'Oraisa because you might pass gas. So what? So let's say you are Mefiach. It's only a D'Rabbanan. V'gam b'tshuvas harash shemimen mekar hadin, and even the tshuvas harash, who's the source of this din, loy nizgar sham kriya shema. He doesn't talk about giving up on shema because you're confident you have to pass gas. He's only talking about shemana esrei, which is a drabanan. Then you could say, okay, so don't daven. But shema, which is daraisa, uv'magin gibarim kasav durak shigra delishna. The Magim Gibarim writes that it was just sort of a mistake in the language. He wrote, not fully a mistake, he wrote it Agavorcha Tefillah, but he didn't really mean Halacha Shema. The Haraya, the proof that it's a Shigra Delishna, the B'Siman Lamed Chesef Beis Isa Gamkein Zehadin, we find in Siman Lamed Chesef Beis Istin, V'loi Nizkar Shamrak Tefillah Vada, it's only mentioned regarding Shemana Esrei. V'gam kan siyam rak b'tefillah vada. Here also, he only concludes with Shemana Esrei. Right? All the Shulchan Aruch means is you should deviate from your practice. That you normally say Shema and Tefillah Bezmana, but rather Elo Yikra Kriya Shema Levada in Berchaiseh, V'lo Yispal, don't daven Shema Esrei, keep it Tefillah Oimei Lefnei HaMelech. Very interesting. Tefillah, it's like two things. Number one, it's only a D'Rabbanan, and number two, it has a higher standard that you're Oimei Lefnei HaMelech. What if somebody feels that he will definitely have the urge to be mefiach, but he could hold it in? The Dirshu brings that Rav Dushnitzer writes that that's okay, fine. It's it's very disparaging to pass gas then. When you say Shema, it's not like you're speaking with the king. So you're just fulfilling the will of Hashem. But wait a second. You're not going to be able to wear tefillin for Shema because you can't pass gas wearing tefillin. Tefillin for sure requires a gufnaki. Lo yamtin, you should not wait. V'yaver zman krishma, let the zman krishma pass kedei likroisa b'tefillin in order to say Shema and tefillin. Ela masai sheyuchal laniach tefillin b'yom yenichem. You say the Shema without the tefillin, and then whenever you could put them on, you should.
This is reminiscent of the share from last week about how eating can prevent the person from putting on tefillin and other such things.
Yeah, last Wednesday night we learned from the Shlach Kadosh that somebody who doesn't wear tefillin is a posheh yisrael begufan, is a sinner with their body. So the Shlah explained, what does that mean? It's talking about somebody who eats too much and then he can't wear tefillin the next day. So he sinned with his body by eating too much. What if a person passed gas wearing tefillin? Do they need to fast? Do they need to fast? The Eish Avram Buchat says the right thing to do is to fast, because it's much more chamor than if the tefillin falls on the floor. People get all nervous if the tefillin falls on the floor. Passing gas and tefillin is much more chamor. The Berura says in Siman Mem Sivkat and Gimel, the minhag is to fast. Lamaisa Rav Chaim Kanievsky says that nowadays the minhag is not to fast, but I'm just bringing this in to emphasize how serious of an inyan it is. Meaning, here's another thing. Don't be mistaken. Well, the Mechaber says it's only if someone's confident that they have to pass gas that they shouldn't daven. Yeah, but if someone's not sure, they should. Yeah, if someone's not sure, they should say Shema and daven, but not wear tefillin. If you're mesupik, that you think, well, maybe I'm not going to be able to have a guf naki, don't put on the tefillin yet. Putting on a person doesn't want to put themselves in a situation where nobody would ever put themselves in a situation where the tefillin might fall, chas v'shalom, so one should not put themselves in a situation they might have to pass gas. Now,
so the tefillah with seaboard you should definitely skip? Because even a Shiloh not saying it all together,
for sure.
Would not be
so I mean,
sure, right?
For sure. In other words, if somebody has to... One second. This is again only for Shemona Esrei. For Shema, if we paskin not to be over the Zman Kriya Shema, which is Doiraisa. So you're saying, what if somebody will only be missing a minyan, but won't be, in other words, he wants to know, should I say Shema with a minyan, or should I delay to have a guf naki? The mashmois of the Mishnah Berura, look in the beginning of Sivkat and Gimel is, Ein loy laver zman krishma shu dairaisa, but it's mashma that, again, you're not saying Shemona Esrei, but even davening the rest of Tefillah with the minyan, it sounds like you should give up to if somebody doesn't have a guf naki. Now, what if somebody missed Shachris and is davening Mincha twice? The Chavetz Chaim writes in the Machane Yisrael that you should wear tefillin for Mincha. not only for mincha, but for the makeup of shachris. I mean, you should wear not only for the makeup of shachris, but for the mincha also. Now, sivkat and dalad umavarich aleim, and you put on the tefillin between Ava and Kriya Shema, and the Ramah says you make a bracha on it. V'teikav achar Kriya Shema yichatzim, you take it off right after Shema. Why? Because again, we're talking about somebody who could only control himself for Shema. Aval atalas yachal lav shel varach alav kadam shiyaschal habrachos. The talis he could put on and make a bracha on it before the brachas Kriya Shema. V'gam yichal alav shekam, you could wear a talis the whole day. She'in tzar guf naki letzitzis. You don't need a guf naki to wear tzitzis. Umiyu im lo hiniach atalis mikaydem. If you didn't put on the talis before the brachas Kriya Shema, ubaloi bein ava lekriya shema. Now you want to know, can I put on a talis between Ava, Rabba, and Kriya Shema? Yachal lahaniach v'lei bracha. You could put on the talis without a bracha. The levi shaloi have a hefsek. Wearing it is not a hefsek. So you could make a bracha on tefillin, but not on talis. What's the difference? So we had earlier, Siman samach vav sivkat and tazayin the der shukutz, that tzitzis is not a chayves gavra, and you could say Shema without it. So the bracha is a hefsek. Tefillin is a chayves gavra, and also you're like Meir Eida Sheker. However, if someone is embarrassed to sit without a talis, then not only could you wear it, you could even make a bracha. Yeah, we had that earlier. I know you don't understand it. Well, you should have asked earlier in Siman Samach Vav. Okay, I think you did. I not only did I think.
We didn't understand this then.
Oh yeah? Get the videotape. Prove it that we didn't understand it. Okay. Weiter. This is talking about where you had a bad meal and it's causing digestive disturbance. In a way where by the evening you'll be able to down with the gufnaki. Somebody who frequently has these issues. He has an illness. He's constantly passing gas. And what are you going to tell the guy? You can't daven? He'll never daven. He's allowed to daven without a clean body. Why? The isser hafacha, which is a smell that doesn't have a substance, vurak isser drabanan, it's not going to come along v'dachi l'kriya shema d'oraisa or l'tfilo shu mitzvah d'rabim l'chein yikra kriya shema v'yispalel. Wow. So this din that you don't daven is if you had a bad meal and it's causing a temporary disturbance. For someone who has some kind of illness, then he would daven. What about tefillin? Let's see. The Pri Chadash agrees with this psak of the Ramah in a tshuva. But the Pri Chadash adds, if he has to pass gas, yafsek, he should just interrupt davening until the smell dissipates. It's not like any smell that it is not from a substance that you stop and you go back and daven. The efshir deshari loy b'chai gavna l'niach tefillin gamkein. Pri Megadim says a guy who is ill and is constantly passing gas, could be he would put on tefillin as well. The heich yakar la'oila mitzvah say daraisa tefillin. He's supposed to uproot the mitzvah of tefillin. Says the Mishna Berura, the tzad of the Pri Megadim that this guy could wear tefillin, it means he could put on tefillin for 30 seconds. Not for the davening. It means, says the Mishna Berura, nearly the kavanas of Pri Megadim rak hanachal ezer ragam. It means he could put on tefillin for a few seconds. V'rakadei l'kayim mitzvah saseh. The yoysim is bevadei aser. To put it on for a full minute, it's for sure aser. V'meinu yachal hatzar atzma aviach ad kadei shenech hashal yad v'shal roish. Let's say the guy mamish has such an illness, he's passing gas the whole day. he can't even hold it in the amount of time it takes to put on shel yad and shel rosh. So, but he could hold it in for 1 second. So we say, pal, put on the shel yad, take it off, and then put on the shel rosh. Yanichem echad echad. U'inyan bracha nerali delo yivarach aleh. Mishna Berura says you don't make a bracha on the tefillin. Why not? Why wouldn't you make a bracha? Why should you not make a bracha? There's no shiur how long you have to wear tefillin for. Keep pshitis agmar b'shas masha the pater ish kazeh mitfillin. So what if you're pater? Women are also pater. He gets a mitzvah for wearing it. Why shouldn't you make a bracha? Unless he's talking about a guy who he's so ill that even during that millisecond he's in danger of passing gas, and in that case he didn't get the mitzvah. So he can't make the bracha misafek. But that's not what the Shar Tzion says. What?
He doesn't have time to say the bracha.
What do you mean he doesn't have time?
He's afraid he's going to pass gas. So he quickly
So he's allowed to make a bracha when you pass gas.
But he has to take the tefillin off.
Is that Talmud Torah or is that tefillin? A bracha?
It's a dvar m'shabekdusha, but we saw that somebody who has an illness, he's allowed to daven Shemona Esrei even if he's going to pass gas. So for sure he could say a bracha. So he doesn't have to have time to say the bracha. He'll say the bracha, he'll put on the tefillin before he ties it, he'll say the bracha while he's passing gas, and then he'll hold it in for a millisecond. Why can't he say a bracha? There's no din that you can't. This guy, the Ramah, that's what the Mishna Berura said. That the Tshuvas Ramah said that the din you're not allowed to daven if you have to pass gas is only if it happens occasionally. If it happens always, you can even say Shemona Esrei. So for sure you can make a bracha. So Mishna Berura says, well, in your bracha, nearly delay varich aleim. Kasav Ramah b'tshuva Siman tzadik. Ches mi sheish sheichoili shemataftev tamin me'raglaim la'ansai. The guy's always dripping urine. V'im ken lo yichal esvalam. He can never daven. Yesh lahater las le'beget sava evarai. He could make. He could have a bag put around there. V'abegadim al yonim niyam nekiyam. And the upper garments will be clean. V'yikanas v'ezegas v'yispalel. Uveshas hatavas me'raglaim, and while he's dripping yafsik, v'achikach yispalel. While he's dripping, he will stop, and then he'll daven. V'davka shel yizor l'tav b'shosh m'tas l'spalel, as long as he's not dripping when he starts to daven. V'yafal pi sheyadeh sheb'tech zvaz yitzarch l'taftech. In other words, if he started the Shemona Esrei before he started dripping, then his tefillah is grandfathered in, even if he knows he's going to be dripping during the tefillah. He's already grandfathered in. So this is a very interesting chiddush to the Ramah in Shuvah Tzadi Ches, that somebody who has an illness that he's always being mefiach, he's allowed to say Shema, and he's allowed to daven, because it's only an Isser D'Rabbanan. The Pri Megadim even says maybe he could put on tefillin. Let me ask you, why is it Pri Megadim Mesupik? Why don't we say he for sure could wear tefillin? How could an Isser D'Rabbanan be mefiach? What would the difference be if you could definitely say Shema, you could definitely daven, so then why can't you wear tefillin? It's more of a bizayon for tefillin than Shema. But if the svar is that the D'Rabbanan can't be Oker the D'Oraisa, why for sure can't he wear tefillin? And why can't he make a bracha? Okay, we will continue with more pleasant halachas on Siman Pei Aleph tomorrow. Siman Pei Aleph. But all these halachas are very nogeah. In other words, a person has to have zahirus and also honesty that sometimes you have to take off your tefillin, and sometimes it's even better to wait to daven. You don't daven for yourself, you daven for the Ribbon Shalom. So you have to make sure that you fulfill all the appropriate halachas. Have a great day, everyone. Shkoyach.
Recording stopped.